If you're Latino and you have family members back in your country, you don't need to feel guilty about not sending them money. Yesterday, I got a call from my niece, and I've never met her in my life. I've been in this country for 40 years, and I have never met my niece. And the phone call always begins the same way. How are you? She wants to know about me because she wants to sweeten me up in some kind of way. So she'll always start with me, but it almost immediately turns to her and how her life is so miserable in Honduras. So then she starts to tell me that there are no jobs, and it's the same story over and over. I've heard it before, right? And then she goes, I really want to buy two pigs.
So, like all of us that live in the diaspora, this is, I mean, you don't even have to live in the diaspora. Like if you are estimated to be doing relatively well, these are the things that you'll be facing. And people just call you, they will just say hello, and then they go in to tell you the problems, and they need you to, come up with something, a solution, which is normally financially. And, I've done something like a video on something like this before, and people were really saying their mind and saying this is what they are going through. South Africans, Ghanaians, like all the Africans and even Caribbeans. But I'm surprised that something like this is also going on in the Latin America, like all this um South Asia, right? So I'm wondering, like, what's up with this? What is going on, and what is the solution to this, guys? Let's listen to
If
this.
you're Latino and you have family members back in your country, you don't need to feel guilty about not
So you
sending them
don't need
money.
to feel guilty.
Yesterday, I got a call from my niece, and I've never met her in my life. I've been in this country for 40 years, and I have never met my niece. And the phone call always begins the same way. How are you? She wants to know about me because she wants to sweeten me up in some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll always start with me, but
Okay.
it almost immediately turns to her and how her life is
Okay.
so miserable in Honduras.
Okay.
So then she starts to tell me that there are no jobs, and it's the same story over and
Okay.
over. I've heard it before, right? And then she goes, I really want to buy two pigs because I think it's a good idea for me to, start growing pigs and chickens. And that way I can sell them and make a lot of money. And I said to her, yeah, that's a great idea. My dad, when I lived in Honduras, my dad used to do the same thing. We used to have like 15, 20 pigs, and we used to sell them, and they sell very well.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, whenever we were short
I'm
on meat, we
surprised
would
that
just
they're
slaughter
having
a
that.
pig and have meat for weeks.
Uh-huh.
So then here's the question. Can you send me money because each one of them costs $1,500, which is about a couple of $100 US dollars, right?
Okay.
So she needs $400.
Okay.
And here's the reason why I said no to her. One, they're always lying. Every time she calls me for something, it's always someone sick.
Sick.
There's always last time she got me, she wanted to move from point A to point B because the area where she lived at flooded. And she was like, I need to move to higher grounds. Can you send me some money? I sent her $400. Did she move?
Okay.
Nope.
She
And
didn't
here's
move.
the other reason why I don't send her money. Because they always call me.
Okay.
She'll always call me to ask me for money. But I never get an update phone call. I never get a thank you phone call. It's
hallelujah. Somebody shout
did she receive
hallelujah.
the money? Did I not even a Tia, I got the money. Thank you so much. I was able to move. None of that. I never get an update of what happened to the money.
Table?
So now it's like, no, you know what? And by the way, me and my mom, we just sent them a box of things. We sent them microwaves. We sent them TVs. We sent them money.
And it's even easier for them
just
to send.
Christmas. It's not even, it's only mid-January and she already wants more money. So the answer is no. I know that a lot of you are going to be like, well, they're poor in Honduras. The answer is no.
Yeah. So what do you think, guys? Because this happens also in our Nigerian community, right? It's also something that is happening And we always thought that, you can't escape it, life is hard, you can't do that to them and all those kind of things. So me, I'm really surprised that something like this is also happening in Honduras. I mean, there are people who go to Honduras from Nigeria, like Nigerians, that their own japa is actually in Honduras, and people in Nigeria are calling them in Honduras to say, help us. So life is hard. I'm really surprised that someone is in Honduras. And so why do they actually do that? I don't know. Like, especially the part where she say, for example, someone calls you and say, I'm moving, like I need to move, like stuff like that, and then you give them that money, say okay, and you never get an update, like did you get the money? Like literally you have to be calling to make sure that they got the money, so that for you to be sure that the money you sent arrived. And that's it. Like they will not really be thankful or even be grateful. It's like it's not enough. You will feel it like, it could be more. Is this all you can give? Because there are also other people who are giving more, who are doing so much, like they kind of know people who are doing so well, who are giving so much. And I'm like, I'm wondering, like, who wrote this code? And they're not giving update, like what happened, that kind of a thing. And the next time you're getting such call, it's like, there's something else going on. There's something else that you have to intervene, right? And yeah, I don't know why it is like this. I don't know why it's like this. I'm really surprised. So when I saw this video, I was like wondering, like, so what is the solution? And yeah, I think that it's worthy of talking about. Like, I don't know, why do people behave like that? Why is it not possible for you to say thank you? Why is it not possible for you to be really genuinely happy? Because at one point you didn't have this money, and then all of a sudden somebody gives you that money. Like, because people who live in the West, they don't have the opportunity that anybody gives them anything. Even if it is one bread, nobody will give you. Like these people here, like for example, in this country, they are very stingy with everything. They don't give nothing. Like, like, because everybody have their own share. Like you cannot just come and eat another person's food, even food, right? And so the concept of just carry something and give to somebody just like that, no recourse. Like, even they give tax, they give offering in the church, they are recording it for tax returns, that kind of a thing, right? So why do you think it's not enough? Why can't you be happy when somebody make that sacrifice? And again, let's keep in mind, like most of the people that put themselves in this situation, that like normally somebody can need help, that is okay. But if someone is depending on that help, like making that aid a livelihood, a means of livelihood, there's nothing you can do to change that person. So it comes down to it that sometimes you just have to leave them to it. So I saw a video where a brother was advising that you shouldn't be paying salaries to your family members. You shouldn't be giving them salaries. You should help them, set them up, that kind of a thing. So I was just laughing when I was watching that video. It's like, they will tell you, like a rapper will say that God will teach you like the real thing. Because maybe that one he has not really set anybody up. So he's thinking like, oh, you just set somebody up and that's it. Oh, everything, ooh la la, everything will be happy. You don't know that that person is not interested in being set up. You don't know that that person wants that money you are giving him to set up as his own means of livelihood, so that you will eat it, give you some time, then you call again, so that you will continue to set him. That there are people that are not cut out for that. The people that will excel, they need only one push, one touch, and they have gone. Like you don't need to do much. That first initial whatever initiative you bring, intervention, you will see it will just kind of pull them up, right? And they will just, like go up from there. But there are people like it's almost like a sinkhole. Like there's really nothing you can do about it. So at the end of the day, it comes down to saying, okay, maybe if you give them something so that they will be able to feed. And even at that, feeding will still be a struggle. Like they can't still feed, but you are doing it maybe for your own conscience, something like that, right? So at the end of the day, we see that this is a very common issue. And I'm very, very surprised that it's happening to somebody in Honduras, like Honduras. Really? I didn't know that something like that happens in Honduras. I didn't know. I was thinking it's Black Africa and Africans, and how we are poor, how things are hard in Africa, how there's no job in Africa, how there's no running water, there's no food. Like all those people, like you can say, okay, it's a standard, it's a given in Africa, but Honduras, maybe I'm overestimating these places. Like I really need to check up what is up in those places because I don't understand that something like this will be happening in that place. Yeah.